All right, so thank you guys for joining us for our Be-A-Scout workshop. We'll just be going over the basics of how to go, who has access to accepting them, also who can view and edit any information for the PIN information for the unit online. So whatever a new family gets to see. So we just are gonna start off by showing you what Be-A-Scout.org looks like. So this is pretty much what the families see when they're gonna go ahead and try to look up a unit in their area. So for example, if we put 97401 and we put Scouts, find and apply, it gives them a whole list of units within the area. It pretty much also does the the radius of it from your distance, as well as a map view of all the units in the area as well. And then you can set it up to 20 miles away, and it'll give you all of them. Oops. Okay, so that's pretty much just the Be-A-Scout.org website. Aside from that, when it comes to looking at what units see, oh, hold on one second, sorry. There you go. So when it comes to looking at things as a unit leader or unit key 3, it's usually your chartered org representative that can edit what adults have access to it. So you can have your Scoutmaster, Cubmaster, or venture crew advisor, as well as your chartered org rep and your committee chair can edit all of the Be-A-Scout stuff. So if you go to, let's see here. Okay, so if you go to my.scouting.org and you log in, as a chartered org rep, you can go into the menu section and into your unit and have go into organization manager and pretty much add in any admin into it. So for example, you can see who the chartered org rep is for Troop 22 right now. Committee chair, Scoutmaster. So a chartered org representative or chartered org representative delegate can actually go in and change these positions without submitting an adult application to the council. So it kind of cuts access to it. So if you have a chartered org representative that doesn't necessarily have time to go online and edit stuff for the unit when it comes to Be-A-Scout, then they can also grant access to another adult volunteer that's registered with the unit and grant them the chartered org representative delegate access. So then they can go in and approve and deny and things like that. So for example, here they can decide whether a charter org representative and a committee chair can see an adult application and approve it, or if only the charter org can. And then also it gives you the option of adding email information about unit fees or just a welcome email. And it'll give you a regular template when you click on it that you can either use or edit the see a sample one as well. But I'll leave that alone. Once the charter org rep provides admin for any unit leader, we recommend that you probably do it like once a year just to make sure the right people are in the right places when it comes to Be-A-Scout.org. You can go into your unit PIN, and there you can actually see what information the families are saying. So this unit PIN preview is exactly all the information that the families can see. And on the left-hand side, you can actually edit everything. So for example, this area in the PIN mode, it would only be allow units to update PIN information. That'll all be updated for everyone. but for it to appear on Be-A-Scout, this needs to be checked off. If you don't want to appear on Be-A-Scout, that means whenever they type in the zip code, you won't be one of the first ones to pop up. Usually the ones with most information do. So then you can actually edit the contact information. Once you click edit, you can also put down the person and it'll pull their contact information immediately from what they put in as their registration. But you can also edit the phone number and email separately in order to provide a different email if it's not the person's personal email that you want to use for the contact information. So it does let you update that individually separate from the name as well. It also allows you to add a unit website and additional unit information, which is this part, kind of like lets every unit set up their own unique information or welcome for anyone that's viewing their unit.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So I'm looking at ours right now, and it says that the unit PIN is being managed at the council level, and the contact information in there is old, so I want to update it. Who should I contact?
So you are Chimtimony, right?
Yes.
District? Okay, so that would be your district executive, Sherry Haywood.
Sherry?
But
okay.
Since she's not here currently, we can go ahead and help you at the council. So I don't think I actually have access to Chimtimony's unit PIN stuff, right, Rob?
Laura, I'd be glad to help you with that.
Okay, should I just call you the office tomorrow? Okay,
Perfect.
thanks.
Yeah. So once you have access to that, you'll be able to do everything we're talking about too. And we're going to be sending you the notes as well as links to webinars that Nationals has done. So you can follow step by step if like you want to look over it later on in the future. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so if we continue with the information for your unit pins, because you want to make sure all of that's updated. You can also update where your unit meets here. So if you're not always meeting at this where your charter org is, you can always go in here and update it yourselves and it will locate it for you. And all the time at the very end, you want to go ahead and click save. Okay, so well, you want to go ahead and click save, and then you'll see everything that you're adding in up on the right-hand side. Once you've had all of that information updated and you're finally getting applications and invitations coming in, what you want to do is on your My.Scouting, it'll still be within the unit. You will see that you have, let's see, applications and invitations. Application manager is pretty much that your unit PIN allows for families to apply online, so it means it's on. If you're not getting applications and you're mostly getting invitations, it's because there's families that are inquiring about your unit, but your information is not up as well. So it could be either or, but the only reason you wouldn't be getting applications is if your PIN is turned off. So I just wanted to make that clear. But once you go in there, you can also see, for example, for applications, it'll tell you the total applications you have within the 90 days, pending acceptance, pending acknowledgement, and things like that. And I think I'm going to go into our district one to kind of show you what an open one looks like. But this is kind of what you would see at a unit level. So let's go into.
Sandy, quick note on the updating of PIN information or making any of these changes. Typically, it will say after you hit save that these will take up to 24 hours. So
Okay.
ScoutNet and all of these other services tend to sync overnight. So if you change something, it may be tomorrow morning before you can actually see those changes through Be-A-Scout or whoever it was that you just assigned to a position actually gets a change in their My.Scouting tool set. So just something to be aware of.
That's important. Thank you. So let's say we go into the one, for example, here. We go ahead and click on one. It says pending acceptance. So you can go ahead and click on the application and see what's going on and what's like holding it back. It shows you every single step for the review application. And then on the right-hand side, it actually lets you type in notes. So you can open or close certain applications or accept them, and it'll show up there, and it'll notify all the key 3 in the unit, as well as council level volunteers and the district executive. So that's for applications. And then you also have invitations, which are the ones where it's families asking about your unit, mostly just by putting in the zip code and seeing that you guys are in the area. So if I go ahead and let's say I click on one of them, it shows all the information of that family, who the youth is and everything, and what pack they wanted to look at. For example, this is a pack. This will give you the option to respond to the lead automatically. So it'll generate a template for you to email them. And then also the fun little trick now is that it has email assigned organization. So this will actually email everyone within your key 3 for the unit, just to kind of follow up on this invitation or this lead. As well as we recommend using this for notes so that everyone that is aware of it can stay in touch, because whenever you do get an invitation, you get 2 notifications weekly for that one notification. And just like unit level volunteers get it, everyone at a district and council level that has connection to this unit also receives a notification. So I, as a district executive for Greenwood, get it, as well as a district commissioner for Greenwood gets it. And then down here, it lets you reassign the lead. Let's say it's a boy that's 12 that is trying to sign up for a pack. You can reassign it to district or council so that they can reassign it to a troop, because obviously 12 would be too old for a pack. You can also close the lead or complete the lead. So let's say if you completed it in person, you can always, like we mentioned earlier, type your note in as to what was done. That way we know that we're taking care of all the families that are asking questions.
Can you explain, sorry, a little bit more about complete versus close?
Yeah.
So when do I use which one?
So closed lead, what I noticed with most of the webinars is that closed lead is when they, oh gosh, I just had it in my head. Closed lead is when, like, let's say they're just done with it. Like, let's say it's denied, but there's really, maybe that person just kind of isn't interested anymore. So you close it because you're not really completing it. Completing it would be mostly when, okay, they're registered and they're with the unit. Closed lead would be more of like, oh, they're not interested anymore, or they signed up for information that they didn't want, or they signed up in person. So we took care of it offline, kind of thing.
Okay, so complete would mean they've like submitted an application or something. That's
they're with the unit and they're done. Yeah, so they're already registered and on your roster.
Okay, but somebody who you've emailed and called and they haven't replied to you, you eventually just close it so you don't keep getting those emails that say you have to follow up.
So yeah, so it'll close. I think it'll also close after a certain amount of time. That's why we try to get to the leads as quickly as we can, because after a while it'll just drop it off. But yeah, if you've done everything that you've needed to do and you have that final kind of like final comment on why it's not working out, then you can go ahead and close the lead so you don't keep getting those notifications.
Okay, thank you.
And then that way, if anything, because sometimes your commissioners will notice that, and if they just see closed lead and no information on why it's closed, they might ask a question about it. So that's why I recommend putting in notes and stuff when you do that. So, but yeah, That's for the records. And then besides all of the applications and invitations, manager, I wanted to also provide you guys with resources. So there's a PDF I made for everyone that I will be sending out, and it has all the outline of today's kind of tutorial and stuff like that, as well as all the way at the bottom, which I thought would be more resourceful, was the resources. So I provided links to webinars that you can follow along with and stuff like that after today, because kind of broke it down into a few minutes of like 40-minute tutorials for each, and there's like about 4 on each section. And there's also my personal favorite is scoutingwire.org. If you go into marketing and membership hub, like that, it'll give you the webinars for Be-A-Scout, which are marketing webinars. And it also gives you the slideshows and things like that. And they do monthly ones. So it's nice to go in and check on their marketing webinars, what they're doing. They just did a social media 101 and beyond webinar. And then on the left-hand side, they also have like other resources that you can use. So council and district recruiting overview. So that'll help with the growing membership online, and on target with scouting is another resource you can use when it comes to fall membership this year. But it's all within like the resources links that I sent, that I'm going to send out. And then there's also the scouting.org resources. Those have a bunch of webinars, as well as to how to do applications manager dashboard step by step. So instead of giving you guys too many videos today, I figured Nationals did a fantastic job of providing these for everyone. And then you can go about them as your schedule allows you to. Any questions so far? I was kind of expecting a few more people, but looks like we have a smaller crowd. Did it all kind of make sense, or kind of?
Yeah, I've been using it a little bit over the last month or two. So I'm kind of familiar, but I didn't know about all those resources with the webinars and everything. So I'll take a look at those, and wasn't quite sure what to do with leads that people hadn't followed up. So that was helpful to get that information from you.
Yeah, and then once the unit kind of has its process, like if you have that one person that will go ahead and be that person that checks it every week or whatever the case is, because some units get them a lot, other units don't. So if you have that structured into your routine for your committee, then it can be a really good tool, because even for sign up nights, if you, let's say you have a join night, for example, you have a table. If you have someone with an iPad that's signed into My.Scouting, you can actually sign people into your join night using that. And then at the end, what you can do is click all, and it'll send an application to everyone that went to your join night that night. So you don't have to.
How do I find that? We actually had an event tonight. It was a summer pack event, but we advertised it as a recruitment as well. And I have names and phone numbers for several new people, including a new den leader.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So I was wondering if I should input that information somewhere in the system. I have my own spreadsheet, but.
So what you can do is here, I'll show you right now.
Laura, what was your event?
Yeah. We had a picnic and water play in the park.
Oh.
So, and how did you market it?
We put out on Facebook on several different parent groups, and word of mouth.
Showed up?
Yeah, we had, I'm not sure, I think we had about 5 new families. Awesome. And then 4 current families. And one of our parents led games, and then the other adults were mingling and talking with the prospective families, and it went really well.
That's very exciting. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was really pleased with how it turned out and the turnout that we got, and that there were also several people that reached out to me seeing the Facebook post that couldn't come tonight but are interested. So I have
That's
keeping those
great.
contacts, and we'll let them know next time we have an event. I think there's actually a lot of families in our community that are interested in getting involved in scouting right now. So
Awesome.
That's exciting. Okay, so to answer that question about putting those people in, so you go on your My.Scouting, if you go into invitations,
okay.
and then once you're in invitations, on the right hand side of where it says new leads, open leads, there's a plus that says new lead.
And can you, oh, I see it now. Yep. Okay.
So if you click that,
Okay.
when you click lead source, you can put joining night, individual lead, or other. So like, let's say if you have a different joining night, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And so you
And
just enter all
I
this
could put that in as a
information.
joining, that could be considered a joining night, like what we did tonight.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So you would put joining night and then you just put in that information. So once all your invitations are in, for example, let's say these are all your invitations from your joining night on source, it'll say joining night. You click all and you send application, and it's easy as that.
Okay. And so what does that send them if I click send application? What will they get?
It sends them the application, like that hard copy application to register with the unit. So it sends it, but electronically, so they can apply online and pay their fee online as well.
Okay, so that won't have anything specific to the pack.
But in your unit information, when you're updating that information, you can actually put stuff about your unit that you would want them to have. So like, let's say a future event or something, that'll be sent to them automatically once they do all of that.
Okay. So does that invitation manager go out? That's, I think she was asking, will that go out saying pack 111 or whatever?
It'll say the pack
be filled in.
Yeah, it'll have the information for that unit.
So it's already linked
from me saying like, it's great to see you at our park play date last night. Like,
you can like type up a message to go with it.
Okay.
Or you can use a template that's already set up for it already. If that makes sense. Because sometimes Nationals already sets it for you.
Okay. And should families join now? Like, does it charge them a different amount if they join now versus in September?
Yes.
But only by like $5 or $10 difference. And you want them to be able to do stuff. You want to do something in August with all these people, right? You want to keep the momentum up. You don't want to just wait. And so if you do something the next couple weeks, you want them to be able to come and be registered. You want to scoop them up as soon as possible, Laura. Do not wait.
Right. Yes. Okay.
So the difference in cost is really minimal between now versus September.
Okay.
So get them in so that they can be signed up and do whatever else you're doing the next few months to get them excited.
Okay. Got it.
The computer will automatically populate that prorated rate in there for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they'll be paying from now through December, and then they'll pay again in January.
It'll charge both right now, won't it? Rob, doesn't it charge them the rest of this year plus all of next year at once?
I'm not sure if it is right now. Usually they start that in September.
Okay.
So it may be doing the July prorate right now.
Okay. And then you can also in your notes, Laura, like if you have, you know, if your annual, is this a pack that you're talking about?
Yeah.
So if your pack fees are $75 a year or something, you can also put a note in there. This email will deal with your national registration for the rest of the year. Our pack fees are $75 or something, so that they know there's two different amounts. You don't want to surprise them later. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't think we've had a pack fee.
You might not, some don't. I mean, if you do,
Okay.
if you do fundraising and things to pay for stuff,
Yeah.
It would go in here.
right here.
So
Mhm.
in your unit settings,
Okay.
that's where it would go. Or your online registration email, your welcome email, what we were talking about earlier, you can also fix that in there too
Okay, great.
and set it, yeah.
Because usually there's some sort of fees to cover, you know, like some packs will say, our registration fee for the year is $50 and new pack members get a free t-shirt or something like that, you know, whatever is it a brand new pack? So you're just starting out?
No, it's just a revitalized pack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe just ask if anybody knows or just deal with it later as it comes up. But it's nice to let families know.
Okay.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Is that it for the training then?
Yeah, if you don't have any questions or anything, I think that will be it. We pretty much touched on everything, and then feel free to give me a call if you have any other questions. I'm happy to work with you off the side from the workshop and stuff too.
Okay, that's great. You're going to email me. some
Yeah,
information. I'll have your
this
contact.
stuff. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a great night. Thank you for
Thanks, you
joining
too.
us.